over the Koolaid Concentration Lab. It looks like this. Now, this is a different lab from the dilution. There's already a video where you're diluting Kool-Aid. So let's go over this calculation for this lab. Ideally, when you do this lab, pack a bright red Kool-Aid. It's going to be easiest to see bright red, any kind of bright red, cherry, punch. And because many of you do not have a graduated cylinder, if you use bottled water, okay, this is 500 milliliters, okay? This is half of a liter. It's going to be useful to have that when you do your concentrations. Okay. First thing I need to go over for the Koolaid Concentration Lab is molarity again. Molarity, M, big M, okay? The definition is 1 mole of solute in a total of 1 liter of solution. That means both the solvent water and the solute, the total, okay? So first we have to decide what's the recipe for Kool-Aid. Here's my recipe, 1 cup and 2 quarts. Now, there's a problem. What's the mass of a cup of white granulated sugar? I've researched it's anywhere between 198 and 215 grams. I'm using 200 grams. If you have the ability to weigh it, to take a cup measure, whatever your cup measure is, and weigh it on a digital scale, use that instead. But we're going to use 200 grams in a total of 1.89 liters. Now, we need to convert this into molarity, moles per liter. I have 200 grams of sugar, and most of your Kool-Aid is sugar. When you read your lab, it says right here, your Kool-Aid powder. Notice the Kool-Aid powder is just the sucrose, because the powder itself, we're going to use that as basically a dye. It's not going to be in our calculations, okay? So our Kool-Aid, like I said, we're going to use 200 grams in a total of 1.89 liters, okay? I need moles in a liter of solution, okay? So I have 200 grams. First thing I have to do is convert that into moles, 0.58 moles to be exact. Where did I get that number? So, in fact, it's 0.3 here. Let's just leave that. You add up the molar mass of sucrose. Here's the formula for sucrose. White granulated sugar is sucrose, C12H22O11. The molar mass is mostly 342.3. Now, where do they get that? They didn't round. They take it, because I did it several different ways, rounded, not rounded. We need 12 carbons, 12.011 gram per mole of carbon, 22 hydrogens, 1.01, and then, if you don't round, 15.99 for oxygen, 11 oxygens, you're going to get 342.3. All right, so we convert here grams into moles. We'll double check that 200 divided by 3.342.3 is 0.584, 0.58 moles, okay? Now, it's 0.58 moles of sugar in a total solution of 1.89 or 0.3 molar. Now, when you make up your Kool-Aid, okay, you don't want to put the whole 2 quarts in. Okay, you need to put in like 1.5 quarts with a cup of sugar. And then what you're going to get is add enough until you get 2 quarts exactly, or 1.89 liters exactly. Now, do you have to make up 200? No, you could actually reduce that, of course, into just 100 milliliters. Or what we did is initially at the very beginning, if you remember, we calculated the number of grams of sugar and the number of grams of Kool-Aid, but the grams of sugar in just 1 3-ounce cup, which is, I think, about 89 milliliters. You may do that as well. Now, what do we do with this? So let me get rid of this. What are we going to do with that? Okay. I made up 0.3 molar Kool-Aid. This is my 200 grams, which is 0.58 moles in 1.89 liters, total of 1.89 liters, which is 0.3 molar solution. And I have 1.89 liters. That's my concentration, and this is called your stock solution. So here's what you're going to do first. Before you start making up any Kool-Aid, okay, you're going to be doing these calculations just to make sure you understand how to prepare the concentrations, okay? So that's what you're doing first. Now, once you make up your 0.3 molar Kool-Aid, whether you make up 100 milliliters or you make up a whole liter or even 1.89 liters, okay, this is our stock. Let me show you what we mean by doing a dilution. The dilution is M1V1 equals M2V2. Okay. We have 0.3 molar concentration of our stock solution of Kool-Aid. Let's say we need to make up, let me see what I put my first calculation as. Let's see, we need to make up 0.5 molar. And I only want to make up 100 milliliters. Okay? What I'm asking is, so the formula we use for dilutions, okay, is M1V1 equals M2V2, all right? I want to know how much of my stock solution, 0.3 molar, I need to make up a concentration, 0.2. Sorry, 0.2 molar, not 0.5. I can't make it more concentrated. I want to know how much of this stock do I need to make it 0.2 molar, and I want to make a total of 100 milliliters, okay? So this is going to be 0.2 molar is, okay, wait a second, 0.2 molar is, yes, okay. X is going to be 20 over 0.3. My answer is going to be in milliliters because my molarity will cancel, and my answer is going to be roughly 67. It's 66.6 repeating. It's going to be roughly 67 milliliters. Let me go through that again. M1V1 equals M2V2. How much of stock do I need to prepare a solution that's 0.2 molar in a total volume of 100 milliliters? So what you do is, first we're trying to solve for X. X is 67 milliliters. So what does that mean? What it means is I need 67 milliliters of the Kool-Aid I prepared, and I'm going to take this and add enough water till it's 100, and then my new concentration is 0.2 molar. Let me say that again. So what we're trying to calculate is how many milliliters I need of my stock, the Kool-Aid I prepared, in order to reduce or dilute it. So I calculated 67 milliliters. That means I take 67 milliliters of my stock solution. In this case, it's 0.3 molar. Let's say I made up a couple liters of that, okay? And I need to add 67 of my stock and add enough water until it's a total of 100 milliliters. The new concentration is 0.2 molar. So before you make up any of your Kool-Aid, okay, be sure what you need to do first is practice these calculations. Now, the lab itself says make up, it tells you you need 0.1 molar, 0.4 molar, and 0.7 molar. So we need something that's more concentrated. So we're going to make, in fact, you may want to make up 1 molar concentration of Kool-Aid as your stock solution. What does that mean? So what you have to say is, well, shoot, how many cups of sugar is that? So we have here 1 molar stock Kool-Aid is 1 mole of sugar sucrose. In 1 liter of solution. Just do solution, okay? 1 liter of solution, okay? We know 1 cup of sugar is 200 grams. what we want to know, 1 mole of sugar is 343.2, I think it was, 343.2 grams in a mole, okay? So we're saying 343.2 grams in 1 liter of solution. Now, what it means is you take 343 grams, okay, in a liter of solution. That's going to be tough if you don't have a digital scale. But what's not going to be tough is, what is the concentration with 400 grams? What if you use 2 cups? Okay, what if you use 2 cups in a liter? Okay, what is your concentration if you use 2 cups? 400 grams is going to be, when I convert that into moles, it's going to be 1/6, roughly 8 moles in 1 liter. Okay, which is going to be 1.168 molar. So here's what you can do. You can take, this is 500 milliliters. 2 bottles unopened are going to be a liter of water. 2 cups of sugar are going to be 400 grams, or about 1.168 moles. Okay, and the concentration would be 1.168 molar. That's what I'm going to recommend you do. Take your pack of Kool-Aid, 2 bottles unopened of water, of bottled water. Now, here's where you're going to have an issue. I doubt 400 grams or 2 cups of sugar are going to dissolve in a liter of water. So what can you do? Take, let's say, half, maybe 3/4 of a liter, heat it up. Then I think you can dissolve both cups of your sugar in order to get this concentration and use this for your stock solution, 1.168 molar, to do your calculations. Now, you can have that, okay, like 200 grams in half a liter, and do those calculations. But I'm going to recommend that you use, if you do not have a graduated cylinder, so you can measure your volumes, and if you don't have a digital scale, you're using cups, if you use 2 bottles, 16.9 or 500 milliliter, there's a liter right there. If you don't want to waste the bottled water, okay, take an unopened one and roughly estimate, put a line on the bottle, okay, and roughly estimate it, and you're going to get pretty close. Now, and you can reduce these to what is going to be the amount of sugar in half a liter, but you're going to see if you get over a cup or so, it's going to be difficult for the sugar to dissolve in the water. So what you have to do is, you're going to need to heat the water up, just like you're making sweet tea. You're going to be making very sweet Kool-Aid concentrations. Then you can use this is your new stock, and you can use that to make any concentration below 1 molar, in fact, below 1.05 molar. So that's what I'm going to suggest you do for this Kool-Aid lab.